All right, my name is Amanda Cline, and we're sitting here with Calvin Kim and the Configurator. Calvin, can you tell us your title and how long you've been with the company?
Sure, Amanda. My name's Calvin Kim. I'm the product spokesperson at Porsche North America. I represent all of our four-door models, our electrification topics, technology topics, a lot of stuff, enough to keep me very busy.
Yes.
I've been with the company a couple times. This is my second stint, but basically since 2012.
Okay, cool. So you have all the knowledge on all the things.
Yeah, yeah, sometimes too much.
So my first question is, can you discuss any recent or upcoming enhancements to the Configurator? And that obviously brings us to the Macan.
Yeah, well, probably the big one is this. What we're looking at here is the 3D configurator. Before, we used to have a still very accurate representation on the car, but it was strictly in a two-dimensional format, just like fixed image, if you will.
Yeah.
And that was good, don't get me wrong, and a lot of people have configured to their heart's content with that system. But obviously, times are changing, and we also like to keep up with technology. And so, yeah, we started working on a 3D version that allowed people a little bit more immersive experience. There's a lot of reasons why that having a 3D configurator is beneficial, which I think we can get into a little bit later. But basically, yeah, this is an awesome system. You can play with it. You can change the backgrounds. You can, have it in some crazy place like this. This is exactly where I commute to every day.
Where is that?
I don't know where this is. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, cool.
I just lost a signal. Of course it happens. There it goes.
There we go. Okay.
This is what I was looking at with the waterfall.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
So you can you can just pick where you want it to be?
We've got
see how it looks.
We got 5 places, and then
cool.
This very clean studio space. We've got industrial park.
Which is where we'll most likely be parking.
Yep.
Spending a lot of its time.
Spending a lot of its time, and then of course a very everyday practical waterfall with a plinth.
This is also where it would be spending a lot of its time.
Another industrial type, clean modernist location.
That looks like out at the track almost.
Yeah, actually it does.
So how do you think the configurator enhances the customer experience compared to traditional car buying methods?
I think there's a couple of different tiers that you have to think about. For the average American, they just go to the dealership, see what's on the lot, and try to buy that car. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. All of our dealer partners, they all have ample inventory on their floors. So if that's the way you want to roll, you can. But there's another tier of ownership experience that I think is really truly defines the brand, which is starting from the beginning and building the car that you want. I mean, I always go back to this quote that's plastered all over the office, which is, Ferry Porsche's quote of, in the beginning, I looked around, I couldn't find the car of my dreams, so I made my own. And we try to give every owner, every customer, that same opportunity via the configurator. And we know not everyone's going to be able to buy it, but it's a great way to kind of interact with the brand, see what the cars are all about, build it out how you want, and maybe keep that Porsche code, the build code for that car in your bookmark. And when you hit that milestone in your life, you can send that to your dealer, and 3 to 6 months later, it'll be at your door.
Well, one thing that you and I have been talking about is how you can just kind of go on here and build it and have fun with it. Like with your friends, you can build the most expensive one. You said that you saw people with a budget of $150 going on and just building the coolest thing that they could with that budget in mind. And I think that's so fun because that brings in a whole different kind of potential buyer, like kids. Maybe they're 12 or 13, and like you said, they can save it. And maybe in a few years, they're like, oh, I'm a millionaire. I'm going to go buy that car that I built on the configurator so long ago.
Exactly. I mean, for us, it's an excellent touch point. Not everyone has a Porsche dealer partner close by. And so how do you research the car? How do you kind of feel out the car, especially when you talk about different colors, maybe something like blackberry and black, how does that really look inside the car? And maybe that's a color setup that's not stocked by your dealer. So the only way you'll ever be able to see that is on the configurator. And like you mentioned, I mean, what better way to, again, engage with the product and the brand than clicking around with your friends and saying, oh, I beat you. I have more options on my list for the same amount as you do. You know what I mean? And
mine's better.
Mine's better. It's silly, but the reality, and again, not to fly the flag, it's silly, but we all do it. That's the thing
Yeah.
is, even before I worked at Porsche, I played on the configurator, and now I get paid to play on the configurator, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's like a video game
Yeah,
type of
exactly.
work. I know, like, I follow some hashtags for like different colors, like Java orange and stuff like that. And it's funny, this is called Provence, right? So you can like follow that hashtag. And even if you don't have this color car, you know, you can kind of keep up with it on social media. And like when someone sees this on the road or even at a show, like it'll pop up in your feed and you're like, oh, there it
That's
is.
it, exactly. I mean, that's
It's
the
my
thing is,
favorite color.
right. I mean, the color of a car has a lot, you know, for a lot of people, you know, the color of the car is just something that's there. You know, they pick the car first maybe, and whatever color they'll have their top option, second option, third option. But there still is a lot of people that demand this one, like this is the car that I want. I can't get it in any other way.
Yeah.
And for them, I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, I just put in an order for my company car, and it's exactly the color I want. I wouldn't want it any other way. All my cars I've ever owned are like that, and it's just like it's an extension of who I am as a person in a way, and I don't want to downplay that in any way because I know some people don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're weird, but okay.
I care.
Yeah, but I do care, and that's the thing is I want to make sure that the car represents who I am as a person, and you know. Thank goodness Porsche kind of gives you that opportunity. And again, if the colors that we provide, which is a vast array, in my opinion, doesn't work, then we always have the paint to sample side, which further totally allows a lot more creative freedom.
I'm a big fan of the paint sample,
Yeah.
but what color did you choose for your company car?
Shade green metallic.
Such a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's another good point though. Like, what if you think that that's the color that you want and you think that you know the interior color, but then you put it on the configurator and you're like, that's not it. Like, that's not the combination that I'm going, it doesn't speak to me.
But you know what? That's exactly it, because you have to have a lot of patience with the process of building a car, because there's a lot of relationships between the exterior color, the interior color, the type of car, the wheels even, some of the trim. Macan, for example, has the Macan Turbo on the screen here has gloss black wheel arches. We've got the side blades that you can get in different colors. You know, this is a Macan Turbo. So a lot of the trim accents are in a new color that we have called Turbo Night.
Oh, yeah.
For example, the badge on the hood, the window trim on the interior, and Turbo Night is a warm color. Thankfully, Provence, as we see here, works marvelously with it. But there are some colors that I don't want to say don't work with it, but are a little bit further spread apart in their relationship. And so if you can figure out what the binding connector between those two colors can be, like maybe a wheel with a different pattern,
that
or
like brings it all
together. It's the rug that pulls the room together. Then all of a sudden you've got a great car. But you know, you got to spend time with the configurator and playing with those things, and then going to your dealer partner and seeing some color swatches and samples in real life to kind of like recalibrate your brain. I saw it on the computer screen. I'm seeing it in real life. Okay, this is gonna work.
This is it. Was it which part of it is it illuminated that you can get the little sizzle?
Oh yeah.
That probably ties into my next question. What sets this configurator apart from anyone else's?
I think the big thing is, number one, it's fully featured configurator that relates to even some custom options. Like we have a even more customized section of the configurator called the exclusive manufacturer, and those are indicated by the term exclusive manufacturer inside the little scroll bar there.
Yeah.
And those are options that actually require handwork to install. So it's not just there's the normal level like wheels. You know, it's just it goes in the order processing system, and with our just-in-time manufacturing process, when your body in white goes down, gets paint dipped and everything, and then when it's time for the wheels to show up, there's the cart with the wheels, and it's just that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the car's going down, and somebody has to hand manufacture a part, and then pick it up and put it on your specific car. Right here, in fact, let me go ahead and do it. Here's that scroll bar I was talking to you about. Something as simple as on the interior here. Oop.
So cool.
So many things.
So many things. So many options.
So many options. Let me see. What I'm looking for is the deviated stitching, interior. In fact, here's a great way to show a feature. We have a great search function.
Ah, love it.
Porsche crest on the headrests.
Awesome.
So this is one of those things that is such a small thing, but to be able to have that blown up, you know, easy to see right on your headrest is kind of nice. And now
So cool.
if I were to pull that off, you're going to think the headrest looks absolutely barren without it.
Now you know you need it.
You need it, yeah.
Especially on the BlackBerry interior.
Yeah,
See,
exactly. Now
it
it's
just
like,
looks naked.
it's not done. And, and so it takes a very special customer to be able to go through that and go, you know what? I don't want this.
Yeah.
This is what I want instead.
Yeah. And the possibilities are like really endless.
Yeah.
You said that you calculated with the different model and there were like over 1 billion combinations.
On the previous Taycan generation, when it was in full effect, so that's Taycan Sedan, Taycan Sport Turismo, and Taycan Cross Turismo. If you were to add up all the normal and exclusive manufacturer options together, that includes the wheels, the paint, the interior, the deviated stitching, the seatbelt colors, the paint colors, obviously. It was over 1 billion permutations.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to leave the link for my cool Porsche in the description. And if you guys want to leave me your link, we can go ahead and compare builds. Let me know if you come up with something cooler. I don't think it can happen, but
good luck.
Good luck. I love it. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Absolutely.
I definitely encourage everyone to go check out the configurator if you want to play with it. Let us know what your favorite color is because it's probably going to be this purple. Thank you again.
Thanks, Amanda.